captivating time-lapse view of the traffic on the historic 3rd Avenue Bridge, a landmark here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Clippers come into town for this one. We're happy to have you with us for 2K Sports midweek presentation of NBA basketball. This is Cunningham gets the bucket.
Kevin, they've been playing with an awful lot of energy here, getting a lot of offensive rebounds. That's always an indicator of hustle and energy.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at the Timberwolves, things going their way so far in this season. Barea dishes to Cunningham. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And the offensive rebounds leading to second chance points.
Yep, Kevin, and they have 6 in this quarter. And you know what? That's always a good sign in terms of a team that's focused and energetic. I mean, when you can get to that offensive glass, you're doing some work.
Los Angeles making a switch here. He's covered by Collison. And it's blocked by Mullins. Here's Cunningham. No luck. So Los Angeles will take it the... Here is Cunningham. He's covered by Reddish. Cunningham gets the bucket. Cunningham's got 5 points. Here's Cunningham. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And Clark, you brought up second chance points earlier. It's probably the biggest reason for the lead here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Kevin. Anytime you can get those second chance opportunities, I mean, it gives your offense such an injection. I mean, you run good offense, you miss the shot, boom, you come up with the offensive rebound, and you still get 2 points.
And the Clippers making a change here. Cunningham cashes in for a double-digit lead. Cunningham passes to Williams. There's the 3. And again, Minnesota with the triple. 27 seconds left to play in the first. Now here's Collison, guarded by Cunningham. Pushing it up. Jumps up. And then Cunningham slams it in.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
The mark. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Timberwolves ahead. They lead by 11. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter.
Into the starting role and responded fairly well.
Here's Barea, nailed from three-point land. Barea's got 6.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range. That encourages me, Kevin. He's not a dynamic playmaker, but I think he's becoming a solid one. And with his quickness and
no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed.
all of the above.
Talk about a terrific game for the chosen one. He's got 14 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
Well, that's obviously not a big number, but he's been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
Muhammad, he's checked in for Chase Budinger. And so Cunningham nails both of them.
Clipper history, but I'll tell you what, it's a team on the rise and a very interesting club to watch.
Blanketed by the D, fights to the rim for the win. Cunningham's got 18 points.
Well, family, great friends. I just want to win a championship. That's all I need. And he added, winning with the Clippers would be legendary. Guys, he's doing everything he can to make that a reality.
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris.
Well, you can see that desire on the court. He's so focused.
Cunningham inside, working on Collison. That one goes. Cunningham! And it's now 23 points for the chosen one. Beyond the arc. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
How about that one? A perfect finish to the half for them to tack another 3 points onto their lead.
And so we conclude the first half. Timberwolves lead by 12. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, thank you, Kevin. Doc, what haven't you liked about the defense thus far?
A lot of things. Some of them was over turnovers, trying to do too much with the ball, but we didn't show up with any defensive intensity. And for us to win, we're going to have to do that.
Coach, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And folks, stay right where you are for the halftime show. Then we'll be back for the start of the second half in the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint. It's Wednesday night at the 2K Sports Studio, and this is the halftime report. Minnesota is ahead against the Clippers. They're off to a hot start this season. They'd like to continue that hot streak in this game. The chosen one, unreal in the first half. At the break, 26 points, and also has contributed with his passing, making some assists. And that'll be it for us here. Thanks so much for joining me. Now it's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark.
So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Cunningham. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Cunningham's got 20. Shved the pass to Cunningham. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
You know, defensively, you cannot forget about him. They gave him a wide open look there. Shots. That's why we see the great numbers from the three-point line.
And good on the basket. Book it. And done.
Hard pick and roll has become very valuable in today's NBA.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons.
Cunningham kicks to Cunningham. Soft touch off the glass. Cunningham's got 38 points.
Heads up.
Here's Cunningham. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Hey, it goes without saying that if you're beat up and your all-star power forward is on the shelf, you're going to have a tough time against the big teams in the West. Minnesota was left for the wolves, so to speak, when they matched up against others in their conference.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Collins is checked in, and it's Barnes in for Blake Griffin.
Regular season. That'll be the true test, gentlemen.
Yeah, championship mentality, Doris. Good point. Thanks.
They're straying away from the three-point game here.
And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Cunningham. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
He's just been the man since.
Here is Cunningham. He's guarded by Reddick. Cunningham gets the bucket.
Boy, this defense is getting.
Here's Cunningham, and the Timberwolves take on 2 more.
Yeah, no problem knocking down that shot. And a little more damaging.
From outside the arc, it's Cunningham with the rebound.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, because you know if you continue to give up open looks like that, you're in big trouble.
Boy, you look at the Clippers, and they clearly are one of the most entertaining teams in the NBA. One of the outstanding team shows you'll see. They have fun, they're up and down. But they're a hard-working group, and a lot of that you have to attribute to their leader, Chris Paul.
So, for the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan comes in. Well, Clark, as you were taking a look at the Clippers, they are a fun team, an amazing product so far with big names all around. But, you know, Steve, they've got to work hand in hand to make sure they're always at their best and not take things for granted.
Well, I think it's still a team that's a work in progress. You've got a young front line in Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, great point guard in Paul, but the new additions have helped, and I think it'll be interesting to see if this team can gel during the playoffs. Barea
kicks to Cunningham. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Cunningham
dunking on everybody in the league. It doesn't go over well with your opponents. I noticed last season teams started to get a lot more physical.
And with hard fouls becoming a topic of discussion last season, LeBron James is looking for Blake Griffin. Good, and it's Barea who picks up the assist. Barea's got doubled by Crawford. Lots of room, and he gets the bucket.
He's had an off game thus far, but his team has been able to pick up.
The fourth quarter. Poked away. And now, running up the court, Brewer pushing it up, and Cunningham with the slam.
That is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run.
The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final period. Great shooting down the stretch. And that one's good.
You know, they've been able to depend on his offense all game long, guys. He's drained a lot of shots out here.
And between now and the horn, Steve, the ball should be in his hands as much as possible if they want to continue to build this lead.
Collison with it. Now defended by Cunningham. There's Crawford with the 3, and he gets it to go.
He's starting to feel it. He's in a groove here in the second half.
Timberwolves leading by 23. Now the feed to Brewer. Looking for Pekovic. He gets it there. The jump hook, and again it's Minnesota converting.
And the shooting percentage continues to climb, guys, here in the second half. They're on fire.
Steve, I like the collective focus since halftime. Good team basketball resulting in high-quality shots.
And Griffin feeds to Martin for three. That's good.
He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the chart.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting a
Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
Benjamin, they could do no wrong. Just 5 on the clock. Unloads from 13. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
And a terrific.
From deep. No good there. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night. These guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game.
Man, now what? Yeah, you can't be serious. You expect me to wear that in public? Yeah, I cannot believe I'm about to agree to do this. All right, yeah. Yo, unless this is some sort of joke, you're serious, right? Yo, you guys are crazy. Come on. All right, here we go. Yeah? Come on, fellas, yeah? Yeah, you guys happy now? Yeah, I won't. I'll be there. You guys are crazy.
So you appear to have added a new accessory to your wardrobe here. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, my teammates thought I would look good wearing this, so they asked me to keep it on at all times. I'm not sure I agree with them, but it's just one of those things you do as a rookie, you know?
Wolves in Minnesota for a little interconference action here at the Target Center. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. On the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. Now a quick check of our starting lineups.
Both sides, high-octane offense.
We'll now go to Doris Burke, who spoke with the chosen one. Doris?
Yeah, Kev,
In a young player, when you ask him to come off the bench and take over like that.
It's hard to ask any player to do that, Steve, but you have to believe that he might be capable, not anytime soon.
Fires the three, and that one's good. Cunningham's got 7 points in the game. Not usually the case with injuries.
But I think he, like a lot of players, Kevin, may have still been recovering from the grind of the condensed schedule.
Offensively, I think, really how this team clicks. I mean, when they're communicating and executing, sharing the ball, they're tough to beat.
And, Steve, you got to love that kind of performance on the road. I mean, to be a great team in the NBA, you have to be able to have that.
That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And, Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Yeah, guys, it's these consistent shooting, effectively strangers to each each other. Only 2 meetings all season. This is their first one, and then they'll play one more down the road.
They have repeatedly.
The shot from the low post is good. Cunningham's got 15.
He is setting.
Timberwolves lead by 4. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back.
He's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. You're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Still scoreless in this quarter, guys, which is surprising after that great start he had. Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call.
Here's Cunningham. From the top of the key, he buries it. Cunningham's got 21. You think back to how Coach wanted him to come and take over. And Clark, that's exactly what he's done.
Absolutely, Kevin. He's changed the dynamics of this game.
Cunningham inside, working on Williams. Cunningham gets the bucket.
Guys, I'm not sure if you caught his last showing on TV, but if you did, you saw what was some pretty funny rookie initiation.
That Berea's got it. And that one's good. 25 points for the... Here is Cunningham. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
How about that one? A perfect finish to the half for them to tack another 3 points onto their lead.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. But Timberwolves on top, up 19. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's a lively Friday evening here at 2K Sports. Hopefully you're having a great time watching a little basketball tonight. Terrific start for the Timberwolves. They've started off pretty well this season, trying to continue the momentum. A sensational first half for the chosen one. His shooting percentage off the charts right now. He's got the magic touch from the field, no question about it. They'll need to pay much better attention in the second half to the details. The details. The first half performance from Darren Williams, just fantastic. He's got 16 points and has kept everyone else involved, piling up the assists.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Hi, Kevin. The chosen one in their last time out against the Clippers played some outstanding basketball.
In the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
Yeah, they have not let their guard down one bit in the paint.
Boy, look at the big ups, Clark.
Major bounce there. I mean, he can fly through him, too. I mean, he was going to be called on that foul either way.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
And with the defense playing that well, the double clutch was the only way he was going to get that ball off.
Here is Cunningham. He's guarded by Williams. And there it is again from him. Shot kick from Cunningham. Cunningham's got 36. Nets trail by 17. And here comes the break. And here we go. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team.
This one may already have been decided. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, this had to be the choice. It was an absolutely sensational feat, putting him way up there above the rim so that only his teammate could catch it. And not only does he do it, but he powers it down from the...
By Williams, no good.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Brewer with the ball. And Terry picks him up defensively. And that one's good.
Heads up, aggressive play right there. He saw the smaller.
Here's Cunningham. And that one's good.
He's doing it all for them right now on the offensive side. No matter what the defense is, a nice job, a really good job of getting second chances here. And that's a great way to cut into that lead. I mean, nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than putbacks.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
Well, head coach Jason Kidd, that's a phrase I didn't expect to hear this quickly, but Kidd wasted no time, only a matter of weeks after he announced his retirement.
And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Brewer, finished off the break.
And the defense paying instant dividends. Fast break back.
Feet out I don't know why. It's something psychological or personal. I just feel better about being listed under 7 feet tall. But the key with him is he's always played like a 7-footer, very skilled, and often if you keep giving up looks inside, and they're paying for that right now. Good timeout here.
And now Minnesota on the fast break. Martin with the ball. That's good. 43 points for the chosen one.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Yeah, they're possessions, he said, with bad shot selection. He also brought up the issue of perimeter defense and reminded his players to play very tightly on their outside shooters.
6 to shoot. And another 3 for Minnesota.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, dominating.
Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, you guys had a tremendous second half. What were the things that had to happen to win this game?
We all contributed tonight, and if we have a well-balanced, scoring and we're efficient on both ends, we usually end up winning the game. And, like you said, the second half was big for us tonight.
It takes 5 guys to win it in the NBA. Kevin, thanks for your time. Back to the table.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, the chosen.
A real roll out there at one point, and your teammates have been raving about your performance. What happened?
Well, Coach has been talking to me about picking the right spots to step up, and this was one of them. It was good to make that kind of contribution to the team, and I hope I'm able to do it again in the future.
Hey, good game. I mean, really, good game.
Thank you.
Hey, you were on a roll out there tonight. Coach is so happy with how you've come along. He wants to see you in his office right after you get changed.
For real, Coach wants to see me?
Yep.
All right, I'll head up there in a few.
Hey, good game.
Thanks, man. What's happening, Coach? Hey, I just really appreciate the opportunity and that I was able to make something happen out there. All right. Hey, you give me minutes, I'll make sure I deliver. Thanks, Coach. All right, sir.
Greetings. The captain has indicated we are cleared for landing. Please fasten your seatbelts and welcome to Houston.
This Western Conference matchup live here in Houston. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. And one of the guys we'll be seeing in this one, James Harden.
Well, when his team needs a spark, he's often the guy because it seems to take no time for him to get.
Aaron Brooks last year, because he was let go from the Kings near the end of February, but was able to work things out and make a return to Houston, the city where he found success early in his career.
And Brooks played in China during the condensed season in 2011, 2012. Aaron kind of got stuck over there for a while, it seemed.
Well, he took a chance, like a few players did, by going over, playing in China, and
lets it go from deep. Minnesota with the rebound. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And I thought, guys, they were the beneficiary of what was a lackluster defense being played against them.
I agree with you. I mean, it was really shocking how many free runs to the hoop they got.
Now let's send it over to Doris Burke, who is
at an unreal rate, and his side can't take any mental breaks when it comes to boxing out on the defensive end. Love's numbers validate.
Here's Cunningham. The basket is good off the assist from Williams. That's they took advantage.
Yeah, that to me is what makes a playoff team, Kevin. I mean, beating the teams you should beat and then not having any significant
love. Muhammad comes in for Corey Brewer, and it's Buttinger in for J.J. Barea. And you have to give the Rockets credit for going after Ashik, a player who never averaged more than 15 minutes a game with Chicago, a restricted free agent with the Bulls, and became a very important part for the Rockets.
Well, they clearly saw something special with Ashik. He's a great rebounder, fails to convert very often.
Here's Cunningham, trains the three-pointer. Cunningham's got 14.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Caspi with the bucket.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
Cunningham in.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Boy, you want to talk about liftoff. My goodness. I mean, he took it one step further. The hang time, just ridiculous.
We've got 1:23 left. Shoots from the elbow, and he hits the jumper for 2. Cunningham's got 18 points in the game.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Here's Cunningham. Makes it off the glass.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Timberwolves ahead, up 19. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Leading by 17.
Tell you what, you got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit.
Fires top of the key. And again, it's Minnesota converting. And for the Rockets, they've been very shrewd acquiring undervalued players, trading for draft picks.
Moving picks and moving players, it's finally paid off, and now he's got the team he was hoping to put together. He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Rockets trail by 19. Here's Canaan for the 3. There's the bucket. Good. Cannon's got 5 points in the quarter.
That's like a layup for him. It's just wide open out there.
Here's Cunningham. There's the bucket. Good.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
Well, the main thing is they haven't allowed many second chance opportunities, and that is always going to allow you to maintain your lead.
Last, Harden won 6th man of the year, but guys, do you think that because Harden came off the bench in Oklahoma City that some underestimated his talent?
Well, I don't think anybody.
9 times they've missed, and he gets it to go. And now that's 35 points.
Points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
Oh, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean,
these players, they're the NBA's leading scorers over the last 10 games. And you look at the chosen one, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player.
Kevin, you know, the season is 82 games long, and anything can happen. But I tell you what, if he keeps scoring like this, the rest of the season is going to look very good for his ball club.
In with it, guarded now by Kevin Love. Here's Brooks, and it's sent back by Cunningham. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession. To the break for the start of the second half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Well, it's halftime on 2K Sports. This is Damon Bruce. Let's get right to the first half breakdown. The Minnesota Timberwolves have the lead against Houston. Off to a good start here in the early going of the season, playing above 500. The chosen one, unreal in the first half. After 2, he's been piling on the points and has been on the mark from deep so far. And the gang.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
A sweeping aerial shot of Houston's downtown high-rises as we return to action. What can you say? The chosen one, an impressive effort here today.
It seemed like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
Checking out the group. Pull-up jumper. Cunningham gets the bucket. Cunningham's got 39. Rockets have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11.
North and kind of in the middle of the country. So they have a lot of long trips. But, look, there are no excuses in the NBA. I mean, everybody's got their own adversity they've got to deal with.
You know, the Rockets turned a lot of heads last season, guys, as they got back into the playoffs after missing out the year before. A big part of that was how they played at home. They were very tough to beat in Houston.
And the Rockets, as you said, Clark, strong at home, and that can be seen in that record of 29-12. Just the kind of home record, Steve, you need to get into the playoffs.
And it was the way the Rockets played that was so impressive, Kevin. They attack the rim, and then they kick out and bomb a ton of threes. And I think that's the kind of attack, the kind of style that can really bring a friendly crowd and bring them to their feet. And I thought that the Houston fans got more and more animated as the season went on. He is just eating this team alive with his. They're a physical team. They're dominant in the paint. They've got great length. And when they're between you and the basket, it's tough to get a shot over these guys. Boy, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Parsons outside. There's the dish to Beverly. From outside, off the mark.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
Here's Cunningham. And yes, sir, that one drops. Cunningham's got 11 points on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hi, Kevin.
Here's Cunningham. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He is just...
Here is Cunningham, defended by Beverly. And the shot is good. Cunningham's got 54 points. Passes it to Cunningham. Connects from three-point range. Cunningham's got a pair of threes now here in the third for Minnesota. Here's Harden. Can't hit. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. In a moment now to check out our State Farm assist to the game, and what a pass it was by a talented point guard.
Well, this is what he does. This is the kind of plays he's known for, Kevin.
Timberwolves shooting in it that they once seemed to have.
Now, Love's injury, I think, just devastated this team. And Rubio, of course, coming off that ACL, he eventually made it back. But those are the key guys. I mean, Rubio and Love have to be the foundation of this club. They added a lot of three-point shooting in the story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
They're third best in the NBA in free throw differential. And for a team that struggled shooting the ball from long range, those extra points came in handy.
It's good from Cunningham. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Timberwolves.
Contested.
Here's Cunningham, and some very quick points for him on that possession. Cunningham's got 12 points now in the quarter. There's Cunningham, defended by Cannon. Cunningham gets the bucket.
Well, he's found his game and his rhythm this quarter. Oh, Kevin, it's fun to watch.
And that one's good.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Williams with the ball. Here's Cannon, and he doubled by Cannon. Here's Muhammad, and another three for Minnesota.
Third three in a row right there.
Adjustment time for the defense, guys.
Here's Cunningham, and he uses the glass on the layup.
They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been.
Here's Cunningham. Gets a very good look and converts.
Well, they're winning the speed game, guys, getting out in transition.
Boy, I like the energy they play with offensively, and in the open court, tremendous flow.
Outside, Garcia. Oh, that's blocked.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
And again it will go. Basket is good from Cunningham.
You know, they've been able to depend on his offense.
3 pointers to fall here in the fourth. And he gets it to go.
Well, he continues to light it up. He's the leading scorer in this.
It's Cunningham with the rebound. Cunningham's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
2 minutes remaining.
Fires from 18, and he connects with the jumper.
Time to turn out. Well, guys, this was never really a contest. It was total obliteration. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Timberwolves.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets.
Not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
Well, the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way their home team played here today.
And they shouldn't be pleased. I mean, it's a very well-deserved win, Steve. They came into this building and weren't intimidated at all. They were the aggressors.
Now Johnson. No one near him. Cunningham's shot is off.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Offline. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, the chosen one.
Huge game tonight for someone with your level of experience. Do you feel you were capable of this type of play this early, or did it just come out of nowhere?
It came a little bit out of nowhere, I guess. I've always been ready to do my best when given a shot, and tonight it felt like everything just came together. Coach told me he wanted me to look for my shot more and to not be afraid to take over on offense if the opportunity presented itself, and I guess it did. It all sort of happened before I even realized it, too. It was really all so natural, man. That's probably a good thing, though. Hopefully I'll be given the opportunity to try to make it happen again.
Yeah, thanks. Celebration. Come on, man. Like what? I don't know, man. I'm pretty tired. I got that early shoot around tomorrow, you know? Yeah, man. I really want to. I can't, man. You know, I know how it goes. I got to be 110% for tomorrow, man.
Thanks for stopping by. As you know, it's important for me to regularly check in with all of our players. So, how you feeling about the team at this point of the season?
Well, I've been playing pretty well lately. I feel like if I had some more minutes, I could really take my game to the next level.
You have stepped it up lately. But coach is the one who ultimately decides on the rotation. I'll talk to him, see if there's anything we can do.
I already talked to him. He shut me down.
I see. I know Coach feels young guys like you need to show what they can do over a longer period of time. Look, just keep playing the way you've been playing, and I don't think there's going to be any issues. But, yeah, I'll talk to him nonetheless.
Look, if I keep playing how I have been, and I'm not getting out there more, there will be issues. That's all I'm saying. I ain't playing around when it comes to my career,
I
man.
hear what you're saying. Just try to be patient, and I'll see what I can do.
Thanks.